Okay, just a quick forecast video to show you the setup that we're dealing with this storm that's going to be a big deal for the Mid-Atlantic and possibly here in southern New England. I think that it will be a big deal in southern New England as far as strong winds near the coast and the coastal flooding impact. The greater deal of uncertainty right now comes with the snow and where it will be heaviest in southern New England. So let's check things out. The storm moving through the mid-Atlantic. This will be by early Wednesday morning as it gets through the Chesapeake Bay and then out into the Atlantic Ocean. And this area of precipitation starts to head in the direction of southern New England, gradually getting heavier as late Wednesday into Wednesday night wears on, and then by Wednesday evening, it starts to come down pretty good. Notice also this disturbance over the Great Lakes, that's going to prolong the precipitation about 18 to 24 hours longer than it otherwise would have been as this little bit of energy gets involved late in the game. The storm running into an atmospheric roadblock, which will be to its east, so that will make it a very slow mover. The actual track of the storm is pretty far to the south for one that's likely to give heavy precipitation over southeastern New England. So that is something to keep an eye on. Now, the computer models are going for fairly heavy precipitation, but it would not be a total surprise to me at this point if that heavier stuff was a little bit farther south. That is really our only way out as far as not having a big impact here in southeastern New England. And you'll see this long duration storm lasting into Friday. Once that bit of jet stream energy that's over the Great Lakes gets involved, it just keeps it going through maybe a good chunk of the day on Friday, and then it's finally drifting out of the picture. This is early Saturday, high pressure moving in. Another look at it here, and this is to see some of the continuity in the models from one run to the next. We've got this bit of energy in the jet stream, which has been keeping it actually dry and breezy for the most part over New England with a northwesterly wind. Here is the big storm off to the west, and as we move along, you'll see it coming like a bowling ball down there through the mid-Atlantic states, and then it moves out into the Atlantic Ocean. There's that second bit of jet stream energy that I was talking about that gets involved late and prolongs it. And notice that there's pretty good continuity here from one computer model run to the next with this storm system. So basically, here's what we're looking at. If the storm ends up tracking close to the coast, then the heavier snow is going to be where you would expect it to be, which is inland up into the higher terrain of Worcester County, northeastern Connecticut, and into northwestern Rhode Island. But if the track is a little more offshore, you end up shifting that farther to the south and east into a good chunk of Rhode Island and interior southeastern Massachusetts. Now, there has to be a sweet spot track for that to occur, because if it goes just, say, 50 miles farther to the east, that takes the heavier stuff, moves it out of the picture. And this time of the year, even though you might pick up 3/4 to an inch of liquid, if it's spread out over, say, 36 to nearly 48 hours, then it's probably not going to amount to too much in terms of snow, because it has to come down heavily at this time of the year for it to accumulate, especially during the day. At night, there's a better chance of it accumulating, but if it doesn't come down heavily during the day because of the high sun angle and temperatures that are expected to be in the 30s, then you're likely to see snow that doesn't really accumulate too well. So there has to be a sweet spot track for the heaviest snow to occur in Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. What I want you to see here is the area when we combine the two, the best chance of heavy snow with either track is in the hills of northwestern Rhode Island up to about Worcester and into northeastern Connecticut. We are working on the accumulation map at Right Weather. We will have that on the site by later on in the morning.